Vamos. We have arrived. And we made it before nighttime, so successful planning on my part. Yes. It must be almost a year since I've been here. So man, I'm pumped for this weekend. Weather's gonna be a bit iffy Friday, but Saturday we're gonna have a good time, and Sunday we're gonna have an even better time. That's when I have my 3 races. Vamos! Vamos! And MotoGP is going on in Le Mans after the Fabio podium and El Clásico. So, a lot to be excited about. A lot. Good morning. Today is Saturday. Here at Pit Race for day 2. Friday was practice. Track day with Evolve GT. And today, ASRA begins. This is my first ASRA race round and first race round officially. So right now I'm about to go out in about 5 minutes time for my first qualifying session. We have 2 qualifying sessions. I am planning to take this as a warm-up session essentially. The sun is out, there's no clouds unlike yesterday, so there's gonna be a little more grip today than yesterday. However, I decided to stay on the DOT tires I have, the Bridgestone S22s, although that kind of felt like I was getting to their grip limit yesterday when I was pushing kind of last session when it was the warmest out there. But I didn't want to introduce a new variable on top of the first race weekend to put slicks for the first time on Saturday and then just go straight to qualifying. So I was like, you know what, I'll just do that for the next round at Summit Point. And so we're going to stay on the S22s, take this first qualified session based as a warm-up, just kind of warm up myself also to the track, and then second qualifying session, which will be at 10:20 I believe. I will take that as full qualifying and try to get some quick laps. So hopefully I'll also try to do some practice starts in pit lane if I remember to do so. Anyway, that is it. Quali, here we come. we are. Got the setup now. The canopy is up. It is sunny today. But yeah, did a lot of work during lunch. Did not actually eat lunch. Lunch is here. Because I was busy taking off the wheels and getting them swapped onto slicks. Yes, slicks for the first time. Questionable, I guess, time to try out slicks, considering that qualifying's already done, and I will do one lap with them as the sighting lap, and then it's race. And flipping the camera for this, we got on the front row, almost front row, at least for amateur class, for the I don't know if the qualifying applies for all of the races, because I'm signed up for like different classes, like lightweight, superbike, super sport, so I don't know, but it just says that I'm third, so I'll take that. Here at Pitt, third is on the inside, so the first turn is left, and I'll be closest to I'll be on the left side, so it'll be interesting to see. I didn't practice any launches today either, so it's going to kind of be a first for that as well today. So hopefully I can make a decent start, and we'll see. I'm not going to hype myself too much about it, but it's just one race today, and then tomorrow's 3, so kind of glad I got the slicks on now. I'm going to do kind of like a trial run with the new setup. Also, another thing to note, I'll flip the camera. The rear is actually a 190, not a 180 that comes stock with the bike. Stock on the bike is a 180/55. I believe it's a Pirelli Diablo Corsa something. It's a street tire, and I had Bridgestone S22s that were 180/55 as well, and they got absolutely chewed up. And I kind of wish I swapped to the slicks before qualifying, because from what I'm hearing, you get like a second to 2 seconds gained from the slicks. But anyway, that's for another time. But yeah, I got a 201.1, and pole I think was a 158.8, and then second was like a 2-minute flat. So wasn't too far off. Also considering that my S22s were absolutely destroyed. This track is really punishing on the right side of the tire. There's a lot of the parts of the track where you're really hard on the throttle, you're on the right side of the tire. So that was that. But anyway, glad I got everything squared away. Gonna eat some food, watch MotoGP, qualifying, and hopefully sprint race, and then time to suit up, helmet on, gloves on. I also got a Pirelli t-shirt. Yeah, 260 for the rear. Lovely, but you get a t-shirt. And pull the throttle on the bike. Ciao ragazzi. my balls. Just want to give a little update after first race of the day. I'm sure you will have seen the race footage. Sorry, Mom. Holy shit. I think I have to rewatch the footage back, but I think I dumped the clutch. Usually my foot is on the rear brake and pressing the rear brake, and then I kind of just cover it after I get away on the restart. But this time I think I just moved my foot back. That's my toes back to the footrest. Sorry about that. Allergies. But yeah, so I wasn't covering the rear brake, and the front just came 12 o'clock. Like that's never happened to me before. I've never had a bike's front wheel that high up. I don't know how, but by the grace of God, I saved it and got the P1 in class. So it was a fun race. My balls slammed hard against the tank. I'm sure you can see from the footage as well, but still kind of hurt. But anyway, I'm gonna enjoy some lunch now, watch MotoGP. Hopefully Quartararo gets the podium.
front lever feels pretty soft on initial bite. But man, that's tiring. I don't know if you saw, well you did if you were watching right now, that I was getting a little lazy with the shifts. I wasn't hitting the shifter hard enough, and it wasn't registering the upshifts. So it kind of was messing me up a bit. Anyway, fun race. I love me a nice slick. And I love me some motorbike racing. Vamos! GRT baby! Gaziaris racing team. I've been watching MotoGP since I was a kid, and I know I'll never even be 3% of what those riders are, let alone even 1%, or even any of the Moto America guys. But as a pure hobbyist and someone who loves being on a motorcycle, this is awesome!
Well, this wraps up an amazing first race weekend. I've loved motorcycles since I was a kid, since I can remember. I mean, and from watching motocross with my dad to MotoGP with my dad, and continuing to watch MotoGP for like my whole life, I've always wanted to like see what it feels like to race a motorcycle. And this weekend did that for me, and I'm just happy. Like I found my passion in life, you know. Yes, do I spend more money than I'd like to on this? Sure. Will I be doing that in 2 weeks' time? Absolutely. On that note, we'll see you at Summit Point for the next ASRA race weekend. Now, time to drive 5 hours home. I love motorcycles.